Hey guys, it is MissSimReno. If you are returning to the channel, welcome back. And if you are brand new, I am very excited that you decided to join me here today for another speed build. And we are still in Evergreen Harbor, but I decided to rebuild the bar that was here. So if you guys do not know as of yet, there is one basically community lot that's not a new community space, which is like the new lot type that we got, but this is a community lot and it was originally a bar and it was called the Caboose, so I kept the same name because that's super freaking cute. And it's basically near this kind of like old abandoned train station. I'm assuming it kind of led to Conifer Station. I kind of can't recall exactly how it's set up on the map, but as you can see, there's like these old kind of like cargo trains abandoned everywhere. The tracks are kind of like overgrown. And I saw someone on Twitter, I think his name was Stevo or Uber Steve. He only shares his creations on, I believe, Tumblr and Twitter, but he is absolutely insane. I say that about every amazing builder, but he's honestly so talented. He has such a keen eye for things and he's just so creative. And he redid the Caboose as I think like a bar or restaurant as well, and he wanted to make it like an old train station, and the way that he did it was just absolutely stunning. And I had kind of had the idea to make it into an old train station since it was so close to the abandoned tracks, but he basically inspired me to kind of do this. So if he happens to watch this, thank you, because your creativity just completely sparked this idea. So I owe all the credit to him. But I really love how this turned out because I thought it was super cute. It's a lot smaller than the original lot that was here. So as you could see, like if you've kind of looked at the map, the bar that was here was pretty big, honestly. It was pretty spacious. There was basically nothing in it, but it was pretty spacious. But I wanted to make it a lot smaller because even though the train tracks are kind of like behind the slot and off to the right hand side, I don't know, I just wanted to use the debug objects as well and kind of make it like the smaller little actual station where the trains would be pulling in. So the building itself is very small. Evergreen Harbor doesn't seem like really that big of a town slash city at all to me, so I thought this was kind of nice as like a little neighborhood station. So what I do is on the exterior here on kind of like this little patio area is I actually put some like cafe tables like with the little umbrella stands and everything just to kind of cutesy it up a little tiny bit. So I use these tables from Get Together, and I think I only use like 2 or 3 of them, and I actually, whether it's on camera or off, because now I can't remember because I did so much pre-recording when this back came out, but I think I put a busking station kind of near the staircase as well because I thought that that would be kind of like a nice touch. And I put some benches here on the exterior kind of like facing out towards the train tracks because that definitely like looks like a train station to me where you have some like seating areas as you wait for the train, right? And you guys saw me put the dumpster off to the right hand side. I was thinking about actually kind of like fencing in one of the dumpsters that's like covered in graffiti and then keeping one outside so it was accessible for you know, some woohooing and some dumpster diving. But I ended up, I think, just putting like one dumpster out there anyway, and it's absolutely accessible, so that's kind of like an added quote-unquote activity. And now I'm working on the roof, and again, I was inspired by Steve-O's train station here, and this is kind of how he set up the roof. And then I was like, you know what, I don't actually feel comfortable. It was his idea. I don't want to like copy him in any way, shape, or form. So I ended up coming up with a kind of like different roof thing. I ended up just putting an actual roof there. It just felt more authentic to really make it my own. I didn't want it to be so similar. I don't think that that's fair at all. So I was playing around with it a little bit because I really liked the clock being up there, but I end up kind of moving on to some other decorations and then tending to the roof later just because I couldn't really think of anything right off the bat. But then I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna try it. So I end up giving this build a metal roof, which actually increases the industrial footprint. And that was kind of my idea for this train station, is that it really is not eco-friendly in any way, shape, or form. And it absolutely is actually increasing like the industrial footprint of Evergreen Harbor, or at least this neighborhood in Evergreen Harbor. And then I actually do use the clock. I put it on, I don't even know what you would call this, but kind of like this overhang here over the tracks. And I thought that that kind of worked. I was trying to wrap it with some greenery just to make it look maybe a little bit more overgrown and taken over by nature, but these pieces from the debug menu didn't really fit this item very well, so I decided to just kind of leave it. But I do put some grass and like some overgrown greenery amongst the train tracks. I end up putting just some other random like rock decorations, and again, these are all from the debug menu, and I put the eco lifestyle filter on when I went into the debug menu to find all these things. So if that helps you guys find some of these items that you haven't found yet or that you were kind of curious about, that is how you can pull them up. And I had the idea of maybe making it like kind of trashy, but I was thinking that even though it's older and a little overgrown and not as well kept, that they're trying to make it a little bit more chic and a little bit nicer. So I didn't trash it up completely, but I did put those barriers in the middle of the 2 tracks. And the bar, like I said, is super small. So there are 2 bathrooms, and they are for any gender of sim, so they're not restricted in any way, shape, or form. And I use this bigger bar from Discover University, and I add some bar stools and just a jukebox, and there's like no seating inside, so it's a little weird. To be frank, I felt a little uncomfortable just with how narrow and small this is, but I had to keep reminding myself that it actually felt really authentic for something this small and kind of like, I don't know, secluded a little bit more from the rest of the neighborhood. It's kind of like a little dive bar, you know what I mean? So I liked it, but I can't wait to hear what you guys think of it, because I might redo it for like my save file in the future. So this build is intended for my save file, but I might alter it a little bit. I don't really know yet, but now I'm adding some pendant decorations in the archway, and then just some other kind of bar decor. So we have some great signs from Discover University and Get Together and stuff like that that have like menu boards of drinks, and we just have random other like bar decorations and stuff like that. I end up using some neon signs at some point and just some other random pieces of artwork, and I thought that these curtains worked. The green was a little overpowering at first, but I think it ended up working just fine, because I think it's older, right? It's older, and they're trying to make it into or maintain its function as like a bar or some kind of community space, and they're slowly upgrading things. So like the bar is older, but maybe they just refinished it in some way, shape, or form. And you know, the tables outside look fairly new, so maybe the next step is to like reseal the brick or something like that. I don't know, it's kind of like a, not really a fixer-upper, but they're really trying to maintain it and ensure that it sticks around for a really long time and that it's not just going to fade away. You know what I mean? I don't know. And maybe they'll go green in the future, who knows? I haven't really decided that yet. I don't really know what I want Evergreen Harbor to look like. I don't know, I'll have to think about that actually. That's really interesting, because I kind of like the industrial look of all of the things. I don't know if I'm a huge fan of smog, but I like the industrial look of everything, and I don't mind industrial towns. I actually grew up like down the street from an industrial park, so I mean, I don't know, I'm kind of used to it, but then there's also a lot of greenery around where I grew up. It was really odd. I was like kind of right on the precipice of the industrial park, so I don't know, I've been exposed to both, but now I'm adding just a mirror and a coat rack, as well as the jukebox and some other wall decorations, just to kind of give it a little bit more personality. So you kind of walk in, you hang up your coat, and you go plop a seat down in the bar. And I also added some graffiti on the back, just to kind of show that it's still kind of going through its remodeling and cleanup a little bit. They just really haven't gotten to that point yet. So I'm adding some like pendants and some signs and some like magazine covers that are framed, because who knows what those actually are or mean or anything like that. And I also add a couple of like exposed pipes. I don't know, it just added to that kind of like older element, that industrial element that I was kind of going for. And I add a sink behind the bar, and then I end up working on just kind of like the little breezeway, question mark, like the little breezeway leading to the 2 bathrooms. And the bathrooms do just of course have toilets and sinks, and there are 2 of them at least, so your sims aren't going to be fighting for the bathroom with everyone else that tries to go to the bar. And I also add some wall lights just to kind of give it a little bit more personality and literally a little bit more light. Picking out like a rug and like a mirror above this little chair here. I mean, there's just really a healthy mix of things, I think. And aside from the bathrooms though, that's like pretty much it for the build. There really isn't too much to go. I just kind of toss up some other kind of like bathroom decorations, like the commercial like towel thing or paper towel thing, and I wanted to ensure that the sinks were at least one of like the new objects that we got with this pack, but I couldn't make it work, so I ended up using a different sink, and I don't know, it's a real mix. I think that's why I'm babbling so much. It was a really weird mix, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this build. It is a reasonably short one, and I have even more of them coming, and I think I have decided to do the eco lifestyle let's play. You guys voted a resounding yes, so I'm gonna try it, and I hope that I can follow through with it to the best of my ability, because it should be honestly really fun. It should be really fun. I'm actually really excited to kind of explore it, but I can't wait to hear your guys' thoughts on this, and I will catch you guys next time I post a video, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!
Used to think the world of you, but somewhere down the line we changed and we grew and we fell out of touch as time goes by. Still I'm holding on to you. I know that it's time for me to let you go. I know that it's time for us to